Slow, marhaba, merhaba, hello, and welcome to Kirkuk Talks podcast, the podcast that is not only locally but also globally. Today, my guest is a little bit different. He's like a guest that he includes or calls himself an hacker. And like, I also see him as an hacker. Not an hacker of a system, but of a language. Today, my guest is Ahmed Hashim. And if you want to know who Ahmed Hashim is, let's go and dive in. Ahmed Hashim, welcome. Basically, before we start, who is Ahmed Hashim?
An English lover, and like you have mentioned what I can't actually add more. But first of all, like thank you for interviewing me, and thank you for inviting me for this incredible podcast.
You're welcome.
I'm so proud that having this conversation with you.
Thank you.
And finally, I've seen you in this position.
Thank you.
So all the best, inshallah. And as you said, that hopefully we will add more and talk more about the language and get to know how can we take the English language to the next level, especially in this province.
Basically, we personally, we have been through a lot.
Exactly.
It's been
amazing
decades probably.
Exactly.
Basically, we are now together in the same field, in the English language. And especially you, I wanted you so that, for example, we can discuss a little bit things and add things for the audience and for the pupil, so that they know what actually English language can show them. Or
I'm all set.
Yeah. Exactly. Good. Basically, we start by you talking about, for example, what is English language for you?
Well, actually, it's life for me. It was my childhood dream, to be honest, but it wasn't my first goal. But it's starting from the the teacher that gave me a lesson that I will never forget, because it was back 2 years ago that teacher told me that you have to go and read a line in English, but I couldn't, because I had so many troubles getting to know the letters and how to read, how to make a sentence. So he told me that you have to read, and I couldn't. So he bit me so too much, and then he said stand in front of the students and ask them to laugh at me. So they were laughing, and I was
criticized.
Yes. I was just crying all the time. So I went back home and I was thinking about it. So I changed my dream. It was that since that day I said I don't want to be. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be as an officer.
Yeah.
I have to find something else. I have to be a translator, interpreter, or just an English teacher. So I worked on my on myself, on my English. I was trying so hard just to master this language, in order to challenge him and tell him that any kind of people, whatever they have of skills or potential, he can do anything he wants. So English since that day till this moment has changed my life a lot. I mean, I wasn't from a poor family, so it took my status from let's call it from the from hell to the heaven.
Yeah.
So
English is life
nowadays. Yeah, it's a life for me. So anyone who asks for my recommendation, my advice about English, that the first thing I told them that you have to learn the language. So yeah, it's
good. So now you mentioned that you are telling students or pupil, everyone, that they have to learn English.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But they face this problem right now. So for example, especially students, they say that, okay, pupil always tell me that I should learn the language. But how can they learn?
Yeah, this is the question. How?
Yeah.
This is the problem that we got most of the time in many of the messages that I got on my Instagram. How can we learn? So they want to, but people in a rush all the time.
Yeah.
So they want to get something. They want to
very quick.
Exactly, without facing any consequences.
Yeah.
Well, this is they have to to work on. You have to got first of all like patience. You have to be like patient enough to in order to like not getting bored of trying, and you have to get like consistency. Not like you try today, the
And
next
then
day
quit. Yeah.
and then you will quit, because you can't like you can't see, or maybe you won't see results happening nowadays. Doesn't mean that your plan
Exactly.
it's not
Just like
working.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to just keep work on it. So that's what we faced, like when people are asking about how can we learn. So you have to find like let's call it the authentic material. I mean, like you have to go with the you stay away from the, let's call it the old school material.
Yeah.
You will
The grammatic.
nothing. Yeah, exactly. Grammar, and you have to get involved with the language. You have to, you know, like you have to dive in the language. I mean, like the books you read, if you like reading
Like you have
books,
to get a lot of different tools.
every single
tools,
like
yeah.
material that you use in your life, you have to transform it to English. I mean, like the songs that you listen to, the movies that you watch, the books that you read, like your phone, like every single thing. So you have to imagine that you are in an environment that nobody talks in
But
any other language.
like for students, I guess
Yeah.
this is hard for them to do this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what does it take, especially like to do or to follow these steps? You know, what are the encouragement they can
Well,
probably get?
actually for students it's like kind of, you know, impossible, because if you ask them to learn, because like human beings doesn't like to as I said, to go with the old methods. I mean, reading and studying like as we used to do. Like for me it was like too hard to study, but like I did it because I was, you know, in a dire need for learn the language.
True.
But nowadays they have to just follow the things that they like. For example, you have to find what kind of things you are
Their
interested
lifestyle,
in.
right?
Yeah, for example, you are interested in fashion, just like you know, watch videos about fashion in English. You are interested with course and stuff, like watch videos about that, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, course.
For example, being a chef,
yes,
right? You have to
exactly.
know
You have to just
the tools, the name of the tools. So you have to
Exactly.
translate everything into English. But as I said, like this is like what people, especially like face, like they don't like to follow it, right? So right now I want to ask you, for example, can students, for example, have a leader who can, for example, teach them these things?
Yeah, exactly.
And who is the right leader for them?
Well, like to be honest, in this province, like since the day I came here, I found like so many places, trainers, they don't have that effective, innovative ideas. How can they make their students love the language?
They're just teachers,
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
So you have to, as I said, like you have to make them involved with the language. So if you want to make a successful course, if you want to make your students speak the language, you have to like force them to speak. So you have to like put them in an environment,
In a situation.
exactly. In that situation, you will tell them nobody can talk any other language except English. So how can they work on that English? You have to like send them kind of like materials that will help them to get to know like some kind of phrases first of all. For example, first of all, you have to just you know, practice, not teach, practice with them the phrases that they need in their daily life. And for the next day, you have to force them to speak those phrases. So when they come to the next day, they will just memorize it and they will speak about it. They will take more than 2 weeks in that method, and then you will change it to another method.
Exactly.
For example, you'll send them like pictures, like short videos. You'll tell them like, go home, watch that several times, talk about what do you see.
It's like practicing.
Yes, this is will help them to think in English. And like scientifically, they said if you reach that level to think in English, of course you will get to the level of speaking.
Right now, as our podcast is in English, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of audiences, especially in Iraq, they don't understand it.
Yeah, this.
But right now, I believe that they are forced to understand,
Mhm.
right? And this
yeah,
is like
out of curiosity.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose this podcast to be especially in English. I mean, I
Yeah.
could do it, for example, in
Exactly.
Kurdish or in Arabic, just like every like podcast is in this.
You know, like I'm doing the same process.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go to place, especially the like pharmacy, drugstore and stuff.
Mhm.
So I speak in English. So they said like, "Oh, what do you mean? Like, why do you speak English?" I said, "Why don't you learn?"
Exactly.
So because like you doctors and for example you are like shop assistant,
Mhm.
imagine that you got a foreign people
Yeah.
don't speak.
Exactly.
How can you deal with them? How can you like and react to them?
It's not exactly.
Sign language, yeah, you have
Yeah.
to talk. So you have to learn. So this is you will make, you know, like an indirect message that you are forcing them to learn.
Exactly.
So this is what like every single man like and woman like everywhere in this neighborhood they have to I mean the province they have to learn.
Mhm.
So that's the point that we need. Like sometimes if you ask me like your goal nowadays, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna make every single one in this province speak the language.
Exactly.
So because we all need it.
Like for example, there are institutions who
Mhm.
can teach like the language only
Yeah, of
specifically
course,
for
of
languages,
course.
right? But then there are students who took the courses, and after that, when you speak to them, it's like they have nothing, right?
I guess it was like
Like why is that?
sorry, it was 2-3 days ago.
Mhm.
So I was talking to my students. They said like we had a course, and like after that, we just vanished.
Vanish, yeah.
Well, it's just like that. So I tell them, why do you take the course? They said like because we wanted to, I don't know, have fun
Mhm.
and stuff. I said like this is the problem because you don't have a real goal about the language. Like the first thing you ask yourself, why do you want to learn the language?
Mm.
Because you have to you
Set a
have to
goal.
be you have to be honest with yourself that I want to learn English because I want to get a better job, watch an English movie, and maybe add something to my culture. So they ignore the language
Mhm.
in the future.
Yeah.
They just ignore it. They don't practice it. Like all of us, even like you and I, if we don't practice the language every single day, we will miss some kind of words. So this is inevitably happening if you don't practice every single day.
So is it like
So
the
that's the
institution
problem.
or the student?
Yeah,
More
the-
mostly.
Well, actually, the students, the problem, it's but actually the institution don't force them.
Mhm.
You know, like they just
Take
give you that course,
Yeah.
and after you finish the period, like I don't know, just 3-4 months, you will end your
Ju-
relation with
just
them
like nothing
Yeah,
happened.
it's just like nothing. You will be like a stranger
Mhm.
again. But they don't make like free classes, like gathering every single
Yeah.
month or stuff, just to check that if these
At the recheck,
students,
yeah.
exactly, they are practicing the language or not.
True. Like this is also like what I personally face in the institutions. Like even, for example, I'm also in the same field as you. For
Yeah,
example, I'm also
exactly.
an English teacher and a coach. So I also see that students are coming to me, hey, we went to this institution. And after that, I said, okay, that's great. So now we have finished like the basics, right? And he says, yeah, but can you like examinate me? And I'm examining them, and it's like,
Yeah, they have nothing.
exactly.
Yeah, they have nothing.
This is like very like something I have seen. It's like also the institution's fault, but also the students' fault.
Exactly.
Right now, what I want to mention here is the students, a lot of students, especially like, for example, you as a 12th grade teacher, right?
Exactly.
Students especially, for example, they are starting with a very, very high potential,
Yeah.
right?
But then like
And then it goes like down.
Yeah.
How can we keep, okay, this level of potential
mhm.
like in the same as they started?
Like diversity.
Mhm.
Like to make your course diverse. For example, I won't make students or my students have any idea about the next lecture.
Mhm.
Yes. And you have to change the plan every single like month. For example, like you have 3 months, let's call it like, or maybe 4 months. So every single month you will have a new plan,
Mhm.
and you're gonna tell them, in the next month we're gonna take like this kind of stuff in order to add something to your English. So you have to start, for example, with, let's call it, with the phrases, questions, kind of. For the next month, you have to add something. For example, you will add making reports, talking about movies. For the third month, maybe you will add
Make it
how
harder
can
and
you,
harder,
yeah,
right?
exactly, make it harder
Not in this,
and diverse.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Because in every single month, your students will add something to their language,
Mhm.
and they got their English to, like, for example, a little bit better.
Mhm.
So then you will add something. You will like improve their English. In the last month, you will add like the most toughest like materials that you will need.
Good. So
But you
now,
have to make it diverse.
and diverse is like the most.
Yeah, diversity is better.
But how can students like take the English, for example, and if they have, let's say that they took a course, it's English, okay,
Mhm.
and you called it like it has to be diverse so that the students can keep the balance of
Yeah, exactly.
how like serious they take it. Now the word serious, how can students like take English serious?
Okay, look, the first thing that you have to like ask when you start your course, imagine like today you will have the first class with your students. You're gonna ask every single one, why do you want to learn? Like give me a reason that you that makes you
Like this
come
is
to my
the
class.
question, the main
Yes,
question.
exactly. The
Why
main
do you
question,
want it?
like, why are you here?
Mhm.
What's the point? You want like waste your time, have fun or stuff? You waste your money, because you will find like these kind of students. But like, if they wanted to, for their studies, maybe for college, you will find like these kind of people, and some of them will get it for they want to learn the language, but they don't know why. And some of people, they want to learn, but they wanted to have a better job.
Mhm.
So you have to be serious with them.
Mhm.
Like, guys, we will have fun, of course. We will have fun in order to learn, because like we can't learn in the old methods. But at the same time, like, you have to be serious with them, like with the lectures and with like the topics that you teach, and and even like about the classes, you have to make it like, you know, the time of the class, you have to make it 2 hours, more than an hour, and in that time you have to make them speak as much as you can. Like, you don't have to speak all the time, because you have to just to give them like the key of the lecture. For example, today we will talk about this stuff. You will give them the information that they need, and then you will just like stand like that.
Yeah.
And now practice.
Good. So now, as you have mentioned, like what they have to do and what they have to follow, but also like who takes the big role is the teacher, right?
Yeah, of course.
How
How can you present the language?
exactly? That's what I really want to
Exactly.
ask. How can you present?
So
this?
how can you present it?
For example, if the teacher's not this well.
Maybe you are qualified, maybe you are experienced. I don't care about that.
Mhm.
I had like many interviews with like many applicants. They applied for the job and they were showing me how good they are at the language, but I don't care about that. Like,
That's how you
show me
repeat-
how can you teach.
Like bring the message.
Yes, exactly. How can you deliver that message?
Mhm.
Okay, like, I'm a student. I hate English. I have no idea about how can I speak. So show me, how can you teach me? Don't show me your skills. Don't stand in front of me pronouncing, speaking, talking about
Like
your
Americans.
muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you're showing
Yeah.
off and stuff. So the methods, like, it's the method that counts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm focusing here right about the methods. So the method is like, if you want, as I mentioned that before, if you want to make a, let's call it, successful course, you have to make the students speak. You have to look for the basic
Mhm.
lifestyle topics. For example, where do you go? Like, you go shopping, you go to, like, with your friends, you have family gathering and stuff. Okay, you have to write down, of course, as a trainer, you have to write down the the most common phrases that people need at these places. And then you will translate it and explain it to your students. And after that, you will ask them to make a conversation. You have to like make a groups, each 5 or 4 students sit together, talk about one topic.
Mm-hmm.
And before you start the lecture, like be sure and you have to enforce them and force yourself to ask your students to speak about what do you want to do for the next.
And how do you want
Yeah.
to make it?
Exactly. How was your day?
Mhm.
Or maybe what's your plan for the next year? Or how was your weekend?
Mhm.
At least you have to make 4 or 3 diverse topics, and each group they have to talk about that.
Good.
Yes.
So now, if we like change it to school,
Yeah.
okay, like we have finished like these are like the advices that should be delivered.
Yeah.
But also school is very important, right? How important is English for the 12th grade students?
Yeah.
Because like I'm telling you, like 12th grade or 6th grade is like the step before going
Yeah.
to college, right?
Mhm.
Is it that important to learn the language? Because like students are coming
Yeah.
to me, sir, is like English like very important for us to learn, or shouldn't
Yeah, I
we
got
take
that question a lot, especially in like
yours.
many questions I got on my accounts or maybe like from my students. Do we have to learn, or maybe like why do we want to like learn the language? First of all, like it will help them in the college, you know?
Mhm.
Like most of the colleges are like in English, so it will add some kind of like
experience?
exactly for their English. This is the first thing. The next thing is that maybe they need to work,
Mhm.
like
Abroad.
for me, I started working when I was like at second stage.
Mhm.
I was a student, I'm working, and you're doing the same.
True.
So why? Because of the English. So of course you have to learn. Like there's no specific age for learning the language, just learn.
Mhm.
Especially the 12th grade. Sorry. And like one more good thing about that, in the curriculum of the 12th grade, if you know like the meaning and language, you don't
Very
have
much
to
easier,
read,
right?
you have to
It's
study.
like a relief for them.
Yeah, of course. Like you will have just like days off when you have English
Yeah.
exam or stuff.
That's
Yeah, of
right.
course, because and of course they need it.
Yeah. Good. So right now it is important for them to learn.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter in which grade you.
No, like for the 12th grade nowadays, if you're focusing on English, you will like miss the rest of the of the subjects.
English takes time.
Yeah, because like it takes time. You have to practice. You have to
Translate.
Yeah, exactly. It
Translation
takes
is
more
very-
than 2 hours.
True.
So maybe you will have some kind of difficulties arranging and managing your time about the other subjects.
Mhm.
So it's necessary, but like you have to constrain about the 12th grade subjects nowadays. And after you graduate, of course, you can work on it. You will have time for
Okay, now 12th grade is important.
Yeah.
Students, they take lectures of English in institutions while being a 12th grade student. What's your advice for them?
Like they are learning.
They are learning a language.
Oh.
But they are also 12th grade.
No, this is like they will
Because this is like what I get a
It's a
lot.
disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because
Understand. It is a disaster.
yeah,
Why is it a disaster?
because like as I said, like you have to be serious about learning the language.
Mhm.
If you learn the language, if you are in process of learning, when you learn something about English, you watch like some kind of videos or song and understand it, this will encourage you to work on and to work more on your English. So this will make you like stay away from the subjects of the 12th grade, which is like more important nowadays.
Mhm.
So it will take you away from your basic subjects.
Mhm.
And then maybe like at the end of the year, you will, for example, God forbid, fail.
And then ask
or stuff.
yourself, why did I get
Yes.
this grade?
Why?
It's because of you.
Because English will have its time.
Mhm.
After graduation, when you leave school, when you graduate from school, you will have like the rest of the time you can specify it for learning the language.
Mhm.
But nowadays, learning the language with studying for the 12th grade will be a
Like-
big disaster.
first,
Yeah, of
like
course.
choose one, right?
Yeah, you have
Like
to
you have
choose
to choose one path.
You can't
It's
like, you
like
can't
either this
succeed.
one or this one. But if you choose this one, then be
you
sure
will mess up with
be
them.
sure that you will
Yeah.
like miss the 12th grade.
Of
But a
course.
few, yeah. Now let's go to the teachers, okay, who consider themselves teachers.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good one.
what's can we? I mean, especially English teachers. I'm not going to like the other.
Yeah, exactly. We're not
It's
talking about other
Let me talk about our field. Okay?
Because we will
You're in
have
trouble.
to take,
I don't
take
want
one
to be-
more week.
If you tell them, for example, you are not good enough in English and you are teaching, they are getting mad as hell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
you can't, like, for example, advise them.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I want to advise them. What's
Yeah.
or how can you advise teachers who are beginners,
Mm-hmm.
not good enough in English, and they want to teach?
Well, like, to be honest, especially in Iraq, you will find like so many difficulties. Trying to convince these people they are doing like maybe their English or maybe the method that they use in a wrong way. So like, talking about myself, if I find like someone who like correct me that you are doing the wrong thing, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna appreciate every single word, even if he criticizes me, because this will make me like see the negative things that I have on my English, on my methods, maybe I don't see. So I'll be like very respectful, and I'll admire him, of course, because this guy want like something good for me. The problem that we face most of the time, I had that problem, that teachers, especially in this province, I'm talking about this province, if you ask them that your pronunciation, maybe your teaching methods,
If you criticize them, they don't
yes,
take it, yeah.
exactly, maybe the whole English that you have
Exactly.
is not right.
Yeah.
So I had some kind of like interviews. So people were talking and they said like, why are you here? We are applying. When we asked them, they said like, we're applying for a job. The job is, how can you make other people speak the language? I mean, your job is a language trainer. It means that you have to be perfect at English, your pronunciation skills, your information about the language, the teaching methods.
True.
They got nothing from these three.
Mhm.
So when I tried to like recommend them, and I got like the some of them were saying like bad words, some of them were criticizing me, that they said that he thought he knows everything about the language. So like, to be honest, if you have these kind of problems, I don't like, there's something inside of you that that it's you to recommend them.
It's an ego.
Yes, exactly. You want to like advise them, but you can't. If you try that, you will face some kind of
Why do they take it then a shame for telling them
I don't know.
they should like
Yeah.
take a course?
Exactly. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But exactly, this is the point. Some of the teachers, they really need to take a course.
Yes.
Wallah, not the
exactly.
students.
Like even if it's
About how to teach.
exactly
how
the
to-
methods,
yeah.
like relearning the
Yeah.
method. Maybe they have learned it, but they didn't practice
Yeah,
enough to be good. But as I said, if you tell them go and take a course, they'll be criticized. They'll be like, "Come on,
Yeah,
I
I was
finished college."
English teacher. I
Yeah,
finished
exactly.
college. I went to college for
It
4
is
years.
not about that. I mean,
It's not like
even
that.
If you are
Yeah.
an English specialist, your language is perfect, but you didn't know how to deliver the
They rely on that paper.
Yeah.
It means like graduated from English
English
department,
department,
and that's
and
all.
Yeah.
So they don't rely on the skills that you have. Like, since when you graduated from college, you have to take the responsible of yourself first.
And the students, yes.
The students you have, because you will face, and like, I'm quite sure about that, you will face many students like great at English.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they will
Can you deal with
well,
that?
they will like make you embarrassed
Exactly.
in the class.
They
So
should
you
know
have
that.
to work on that.
Yeah.
The problem that we have in our country, we don't improve ourselves. Like, once I heard something that it was a speech. He said like, sometimes we are the problem. So, but we don't see. maybe like I go to class, I see like my students not getting that English, not getting that level of English. So I would say that I'm gonna tell you, and as my students is not good. Like my student is like he's or she's just wasting time, is not getting any progress in his English. But maybe the method I use. So this is the problem. We don't see the problems that we have inside. We just see the problem in the front of the students that we got.
Sure.
So the answer is that unfortunately we can't do something for them, but you have to maybe teach in front of them in the right way, so they will indirectly getting to know that you are correcting them.
True.
Yeah, maybe in just that way.
Thank you so much. Basically,
My pleasure.
ladies and gentlemen, this was Ahmed Hashim.
Thank you.
As I said, like for example, for me personally, he is and was an idol, and me being
Thank
at
you
this
so much.
level, I'll be honest, it's because of it. Because we were working like a lot. It's been like probably over 5 years, and we have learned a lot. Thank you so much for watching. This was Kirkuk Talks podcast for this episode. I hope that you got a lot of benefits, and I hope that you will gain even more and more by listening to us, and also for the upcoming episodes. Thanks so much for watching. And of course, my guest will have a minute with you, a small message probably. For me, it's bye-bye, and for him, his message.
So yeah, the point is, and the message here is that if you want to make like any good things in your life, you have to stay away from other people's opinion, because like once I got that, other people's opinions does not have to become your reality. It means that maybe people will like criticize you, maybe will put you like down in many good things that you are at, but actually this is not the point. You have to find deep inside of you, maybe you have to look for like the good things that you are capable of, because as I said, their opinion does not have to become your reality. If people told you that things won't get better, you won't be good at some kind of things, don't listen to them. Listen deep inside of you, believe in you, and then you will achieve whatever you want.